for being here today, and thanks to you, our citizens of Savannah, for listening today. It is with pleasure that I present to you and acknowledge that I am here not to defend myself, but simply to explain. I have been charged with an ethics violation, a claim that is, by my newly elected colleagues. First, District 6 Alderman Curtis Purdy, and just yesterday, before 5 p.m., by Nick Palumbo, Alderman Linda Baldwin-Bryan, and Alderman Dietrich Leggett. I want to first acknowledge, by way of the Georgia State Statute 50-14-1A2, the law defines our executive session as a portion of a meeting lawfully closed to the public. Statute OCGA 50-14-1E2C states where issues subject to the attorney-client privilege are discussed, the minutes must reflect that an attorney-client discussion occurred and its subject matter must be identified. However, the substance of the discussion need not be recorded and must not be identified in the minutes. Therefore, as an elected official of the City of Savannah and the State of Georgia, I am duly bound by the aforementioned and am inclined not to discuss any business, subjects, discussion, or decisions made or introduced in the August 26th executive session of the City Council of the City of Savannah. Further, I would like to acknowledge that at 7:43 a.m. today, I received the following message from the City Attorney, Bates London, which read, "The board has dismissed both ethical complaints against you." While this is good news, and despite my wish, I am not inclined to think that my colleagues will retreat, uphold the law, and get back to the business of their districts. Now, by way of point of reference, I want you to also know what was not printed or reported in midday media outlets or on the midday news. Since that time, my colleagues have refiled an ethics complaint. That said, I do not intend to publicly address this issue again, as it does nothing for the greater good of this community, and it is further my hope that our mayor, Van Johnson, will take the same stand he took in 2017 when responding to former Alderman Tony Thomas's ethics complaint. And that is where he stated, and I quote, "Council should be careful to avoid becoming the morality police." I am, however, inclined to acknowledge that our community, our state, and our nation, citizens, we are in crises. We are in the midst of a pandemic we cannot quite control, and many families, individuals, businesses are facing dire financial straits. Additionally, and most importantly, we are approaching a very, very, very important election season on all levels of government. And we will need to get counted for the census. Distraction is the greatest enemy of direction. And what we want to do here today is to remind you, our citizens of Savannah, that governments across the nation, including ours right here in this fine city of Savannah, Georgia, is changing. And politics of yesterday is no longer. And I am doing exactly what you sent me here to do. And I am doing it with a high level of integrity, authenticity, and morality. And I want you to not get caught up in the headlines. Do not get caught up in the 24-hour media cycles. Hear it, learn it, and get it for yourself. But most importantly, we need you to engage in your local government and continue to hold us accountable. But while you are holding us accountable, we also want you to hold accountable those who report to you. Savannah and her surrounding sister communities, we are grossly underrepresented. And I can't impress enough the importance of participating in this upcoming census. Further, and more recent intent to distract you is from the debacle with the CARES Act for our business communities. Most recently exposed was the fact that there was no balance and fairness in that allocation process where resources were concerned. More money now has been released to help our local businesses, and funds are still available to help citizens facing evictions. This should be our focus. This is where your attention should be. This is worthy of a headline. This is worthy of a 24-hour news cycle. This is where the core care of community is defined, and this is where it starts. When I decided to run for Alderman at Large, Post 1 for the city of Savannah, I knew what set me apart from the incumbent and that current administration. I knew that Savannah citizens deserve more. You see, I am a 25-year executive who has invested years into this community. I know, I have seen up close and personal the worst hurt that this city knows. I submit to you still, I am not a politician. I am a public servant, and I make no apologies for being so. Leadership, advocacy, and transparency are core and center at my intent where my service is concerned. Last year, in an interview for an endorsement, Savannah Morning News asked me, what did not for sale mean? My response was, business as usual in city government is not acceptable. And Kesha Gibson-Carter thereby is not for sale. Despite this declaration, my service on council has been limited to simply vocally advocating for livable wages, affordable housing, and economic advancement for small and marginalized businesses, and fair and ethical treatment of our city staff. From the east side to the west side, from downtown to the south side, and from crime to environmental justice, I am here to serve the citizens of Savannah and be an accessible leader you can trust and hold accountable. While I so enjoy connecting with our citizens in our various neighborhoods, and I miss dearly seeing you face to face, and now have to subject myself to a Zoom meeting here and there. While I enjoy connecting and helping you to tackle your neighborhood issues related to crime, infrastructure, and service issues, my most effective work can best be done through policy change. that will provide for structural changes to help us move the needle. Unfortunately, and due to some political maneuvering I have never seen before, I am unable to work in this manner, of which thousands of local representatives every day across the nation work to present, to propose, and to promote legislation. I am still not a politician, I am a public servant. And playing political games with the lives of our citizens is no laughing matter. I have nothing to be happy about on City Council. And the business of our citizens simply cannot wait. No longer can we take a back seat to legacy contracts. No longer can we take a back seat to brick and mortar projects. No longer can we take a back seat to nepotism and cronyism. We must demand better. If we aren't investing millions in brick and mortar projects, surely we can allow something for our citizens of this great city. Simply, the winners can no longer take all. As a veteran nonprofit executive, I know firsthand how difficult it is to achieve within business and government, and I know now how difficult it is for government to change. A few people profit from this status quo, and a lot of people suffer as a result of it. As a result of everything I have said and done during my time on council, one thing for sure has been consistent. My fight has been for a better Savannah. I signed up and I pledged to work to give Savannah a heartbeat. And that's what I will continue to do. And so while the majority on our council has the press on their side, I have you, our people, on my side. It is my hope that the leadership of this administration will now work to bring us together, recognizing that this eyesore and this setup for one of its leaders make all of us look bad. I recognize this for what it is. This isn't my first rodeo. Nonetheless, through it all, I'm here today, and I am determined more than ever before to stay the course, continue to speak truth to power, and represent those who are of the least among us. Thank you.
Alderwoman Gibson-Carter, are you willing to take a few questions?
I am not. Thank you. You guys have a great day.